Looks like we're live.
It looks like we're live. Can you hear me through your? Can you hear me back there?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see if this works. It's kind of jury rigged, but sometimes you have to think on your feet.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
On the phone, and Vinnie's on the internet.
Yeah, if somebody can tell us if we are even reaching anybody out there, or if we're, I don't know, Mikey. We are. What are we doing here? We're not on Facebook because they're having problems with Facebook. They're also having problems with Instagram.
Well, this morning in Los Angeles, we have parts of the city with no cell phone service and no power because of the Franklin fire in Malibu.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad looking fire.
Only not even 10% contained.
Thousands of people out of their houses. Thousands of residents in what is it, 7,000 structures in peril. What's I mean,
whether you this morning. And the worst of it is the Santa Ana wind is blowing up to 60 miles an hour sometimes, especially when the sun goes down. First couple hours after sundown, the winds come up before subsiding, and they drive the flames right through all the homes that are in peril.
Yeah, they got a break yesterday, didn't they?
For a little while, but last night when the sun went down, everything restarted. There was no containment last night at midnight.
Oh, that's
it's ugly.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's the downside of living in Southern California for sure. Well, Northern California now too. Anywhere really. I mean, it used to be just but now it seems like the whole West Coast is on fire.
Even when I lived in Wenatchee, we had summer fire season every year that I was there.
Yeah, it's now how far are you? Because I heard one reporter yesterday on LA, I think it was CBS LA, saying that the flames the people in Pasadena were in peril.
No.
Yeah,
we're not even getting the wind.
Yeah, I was like, well, wait a second, that's a fair distance from Malibu. I mean, you have to burn down Bel Air and Beverly Hills, and
we're 25 miles from the ocean.
Yeah. I was, but again, that's what the reporter said, and I just couldn't. It couldn't dawn on me. Didn't dawn on me. I didn't put it together right away. But listen, prayers for those people, man. That is not an easy thing.
Technological infrastructure is under a lot of strain right now. That's why I think Facebook, Instagram, power, even cell towers are unusable. Their communication between the firefighters is strained because they can't talk to one another.
Yeah, and who knows? And with the internet, you don't know where you're getting routed through, right? I mean, we could, the whole West Coast could go through Malibu. You get to Point Magoo and make a right, right? Who knows how it goes.
Which brings to mind my favorite place for being unable to pronounce it, California. That's Port Hueneme, Huname, Hueneme.
I actually know somebody from there.
They'll tell you all about it. Nobody. Where do you live? You live in Huey? No, that's Hueneme.
Immortalized in the Surfing USA.
Surfing is the only life for me.
No, if everybody's going surfing USA. The one you just said was surfing.
Correct.
There was surfing, and then there was Surfing USA. We'll all be damming our roots. We're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboard. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Just tell the teacher we're surfing USA.
Now, who's the guy who has to tell the teacher? Somebody has to stay behind.
Mike Love. Mike Love was the guy who always had to tell the teacher. That's why he's so screwed up.
He never really got over that. He hasn't been right since.
Hasn't been right since Hawthorne High School, man.
You can take him to Port Hueneme, but it's too late. He doesn't want to go anymore. He doesn't want to go to San Clemente, Port Hueneme, no place.
No, he says he's driving a vehicle that that's the $120,000 vehicle. He's not going to put a surfboard on top of it.
So he's got to test the pickup truck.
Yeah, and then the surfboard doesn't fit into it.
He's got a place to put a rack on top of a Tesla.
And even if you try it, it's stainless steel, so you're going to screw up the finish on the truck.
And the surfboard won't like it either.
Yeah, surfboard will probably get pissed off that you're doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't remember if when I was down in Southern California, I saw a Tesla with a surfboard on it, but I'm sure there are.
Sedans, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that somebody's driving around a Model Y with a couple of surfboards pinned on top. But it just makes me want to. Listening to the Beach Boys just makes me nostalgic for a time that is so long gone in this country.
Malibu didn't burn down.
Yeah, when Malibu didn't burn down, or it might have burnt down then. I don't know, but Malibu was a beach that everybody could go to, and that whole southern coast was the center of the teenage world.
Cars and boards.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and you think about it, Mikey. New York might have been the music capital, but California really was the teenage capital of the world because all the TV shows were done in California. Nobody had a TV show that was filmed in New York.
California's got the zeitgeist.
It had something going for it. Now they film them all in Atlanta.
Forget about it.
Yeah, but it was just a different time, and we as different time type of people, because we always say that those times were better. I don't know if they were or they weren't, Michael.
Well, you wear pillowed shirts and white Levi's. How was that? That might be a good look for today. Commercials for in fact, maybe I should, in solidarity with Malibu and the poor people like Dick Van Dyke and Cher that are out of their homes, I should wear a pillowed shirt and white Levi's. Yeah,
Dick Van Dyke, man. I mean, this a dude was going to be 100 in a few days, right?
His children are 73 and 78. Can you believe this?
You mean Richie Petrie? Richie Petrie is 78 years old.
Right. And he needs a note for his teacher. I
have a clip from the Dick Van Dyke show that I have to dig out. It's the cast. It's the cast doing the Dick Van Dyke show theme.
With the Dadadas?
Yeah, with the Dadadas. It's one of their Christmas shows. It's the last scene in the Christmas show, and they're all in a around the sleigh. Rob and Laura in the sleigh, and Buddy and Sally, and I think Richie's there too, and maybe Mel. So they're pushing the sleigh around the stage, and they stop and just go da 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 da. Whoop boom.
You know who wrote that?
Paul Reiner.
I don't know who wrote the Dada song.
Oh no, I don't know who wrote the Dada song. Probably some obscure. I mean, they must have had. That's something we miss these days is themes. I mean, television shows don't have them anymore. You recognize television shows by their themes.
Who's got a distinctive theme is Suits. You ever heard their?
No, I haven't. No, I've been watching. What else has a theme like that? Is what's that? The hotel, the show about the hotel with Aubrey Plaza. The White Swan, is it?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, the White Swan. Yeah, that has a distinctive theme too. So maybe they're bringing it back, but there's no show that has that, or at least I don't think there is, because they do cold opens on a lot of shows now.
Yeah, you don't get the credits until you have a full scene.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, most shows are cold opens.
By the way, I recommend on Netflix Black Doves, which is a Keira Knightley. She's a double agent, has a secret life, works for the government. We can't tell what exactly she's doing, but her lover got killed. That puts her in trouble with her real family and her boss and everybody else in London who's worried about security and espionage. So Kristen and I are two episodes into that. It's a total of 6.
Wow.
Black Doves.
Black Doves. All right, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I just started watching that White Swan.
Very unusual job for Keira Knightley to be in that kind of a show.
Well, and I like her. Well, didn't she do she was a detective in a show that was like on TBS like 15 years ago? I can't remember it was like the Eliminator or the Scrubinator or some kind of nader.
The Percolator?
The Percolator. I was Joe DiMaggio, the Percolator.
Mr. Coffee's going to make you a fine cup of coffee every morning.
Exactly.
Every morning, I'm telling you.
So I get home last night and I have a Roku TV, a smart TV, although I don't know how smart it is if I'm watching it. So for some strange reason, when I turn it on, it automatically goes to MLB's Greatest Games channel.
Huh.
And so last night I come home, yesterday, late afternoon, I come home, I turn the TV on, and it's the Yankees and the Royals. And I don't recognize the game. Wow. But I'm watching it, and it's like Lou Piniella, and it's Craig Nettles. So I know it's the late 70s, and Billy Martin's managing. Yogi's the first base coach. Let's see, Steve Kemp, Dave Winfield, and I can't remember who was in right. And it was the Pine Tar game.
Of course it was.
Yeah, it was the Pine Tar game. It was great. It was great to watch. I watched it from when I came in, which I think was 4-3 Yankees in the top of the 8th when I started watching.
And had George Brett already gotten a hit?
I think he had a home run in that game. Well, he had the home run at the end, but I think he had gotten a hit already in that game.
Was it Billy that saw the Pine Tar?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Billy came, it was bottom of the 9th. They're behind 4-3. They get a runner on. Goose Gossage walks the first guy. Then Brett comes up. And Brett, first pitch, he almost hits a home run to left. Second pitch, he does. He hits the freaking ball up into the stands in the right field, the short right field, 330 feet. But he got it up into the stands, so it was a legit shot. And so Brett's going around the bases. He's running around the bases, we're one run ahead. And all of a sudden, Billy comes storming out of the dugout, man, and he starts pointing to the bat. No, actually, he didn't storm out of the dugout. He came casually out of the dugout.
He never does anything casually.
Yeah, he casually came out of the dugout and he pointed to the bat, and immediately, Rocky Colavito, who just passed away yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Rocky Colavito, and I forget who else. Might have been Frank White. Grabbed the bat and ran into the clubhouse with the bat.
Oh, no.
So now you have a major league security guy and the Yankees PR guy, I believe, running into the Royals clubhouse to get the bat.
Wow.
So, because the Royals got to know that the bat's not right. So they get the bat and bring the bat out. They're looking at it, and And the play-by-play was Frank Messer and Bobby Mercer with a broadcast team. And it was a great day because Bobby Mercer Day was going to be on August 6th. So I remember that when he retired. Couldn't hit anymore. I mean, he was 108 years old.
Yeah, we knew that because he was with the Giants.
Yeah. And in those days, all the old Yankees came back, and like it is with the Mariners now, they bring him in and they let him, do a couple of games. But I think Bobby was the color guy that year, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, they bring the bat out. Martin's pointing to it, because the rule is supposed to be that pine tar can't touch the brand. With it, where it would say like Hillerich and Bradsby on the bat. The pine tar can't touch the trademark. They call that.
And it makes any difference, really.
And so the umpire takes the bat and he lays it next to home plate. And, he's measuring home plate and the distance of the bat. And I guess he's trying to figure out that, if he did hit this ball, was it part of the pine tar? And then he makes that famous move where he just faces the Royals dugout and calls Brett out.
And then he flips.
And Brett comes out of the dugout like a bullet, man. Like a bullet. I don't even think he touched the stairs coming out of the dugout. I don't even.
Saying all the way is, I also got a lead pipe in the middle of that bat that you haven't found yet.
Well, they had found one. Who was it? There was somebody that they had found cork in his bat earlier in the year. And I can't remember who it was for the life of me now. They mentioned it, and now I can't remember who it was. But they had found cork.
It wasn't Johnny LeMaster because he never used a bat.
No, it wasn't Johnny LeMaster. No. So anyway, that was great. That was great to come home and flip that on and just look at old Yankee Stadium in the 70s. No corporate advertising all over the place. No, all the crap you see on a game today wasn't there. Just wasn't there.
You couldn't buy your name.
You couldn't put your name. The only thing you had in Yankee Stadium is the same with Shea Stadium, was you had those, little reader boards that were probably on this attached to the second deck. And usually it was an advertisement for Modell's or Ballantine beer, some local company.
Or Utz chips.
Or Utz or WIZZ potato chips, usually. I know WIZZ had the one in Shea for a long time. And what was the other one in Shea? Charles Chips.
Charles Chips, don't know that one.
Yeah, Charles Chips. They used to come in a can.
That's wrong.
Yeah, and they I think they were on the scoreboard in 86, 85, 86, around there. And in 69, the bottom of the scoreboard was Plymouth. And maybe Rheingold.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because Rheingold was the beer that was served One beer was served. You didn't have 9 taps with, puke yellow Hefeweizen. You had one beer, Rheingold, in a cup, $1.50. You want it?
Did it have a plastic cover on it, or?
It had a paper cup. That's when you got a paper cup. Harry M. Stevens had the non-alcoholic drink. Soda had a red band around it, and beer had a green band around it, if I remember right. So.
And did the game look different from the 70s? Did it look like it was played different by different people?
Yeah. The players were smaller. Yeah, the players were nowhere near as buffed as they are now, except for Winfield. I mean, Winfield looked like a player of today.
He was the model of what the players were going to become.
Yeah. But everybody else looked, I mean, Greg Nettles, I mean, how many?
They all wore size 40 jackets.
Yeah. I mean, they all were. They looked nothing like you see today. All the uniforms are baggy. Well, actually, I take that back. They weren't baggy, but they were not form-fitting like they are today.
They weren't tailored.
They had, they had those, crappy double knits.
Oh, hey.
And the Royals had those powder blue pullovers.
They've had some god-awful uniforms.
Yeah. Luckily, the Yankees had Yankee uniforms on.
Yeah, they did.
If there's one thing I'm proud, I'm not proud of the Yankees. I couldn't be proud of the Yankees. But that I have to give the Yankees credit for is they've always resisted and never put the name of their players on the back of the uniforms. Never.
They won't do it. They're not going to do it.
They haven't done it. Won't do it. I think at least as long as Steinbrenner owns the franchise.
Now the Giants, in the last 3 times they went to the World Series and won, they had the uniforms, home uniforms, with no name on the back.
Yeah.
No uniforms had the name. They decided to change it. You know what's happened to that team since then?
Go back. Well, they did introduce their new shortstop yesterday.
Well, that's nice.
So
I hope he hit 35 home runs.
I hope he does something for him. I mean, now it seems to be which pitchers are going to go where.
Yep, that's the deciding moves to be left to be moved.
And this is where the Mariners could pick something up because they have pitching the deal.
So it looks like the Giants are in the market, but they have to prove it to me.
And I think the Nationals are going to sign Pete Alonso, which breaks my heart.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that's a guy that should he should finish his career in New York.
But what's the deal in Washington? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm just really surprised that the Mets didn't make him some kind of offer to stay.
The fans loved him. He's a power hitter extraordinaire.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you'd want in the lineup behind Soto. Juan Soto. I mean, that's the hitter you want behind him, right?
Damn right.
I mean, you put him behind Soto, and you got arguably as strong a lineup as the Yankees had in the 70s.
And now he's going to be like the Ernie Banks of the Washington team. You got to have a nice salary and a team that's going nowhere.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. I just it sucks. It really sucks. But there is another good side to it. And that is that Yankee fans are pissed off I haven't seen Yankee fans this pissed off. My nephew wrote a post on Facebook yesterday, just railing. I mean, he is so pissed off. He's hot. He's steaming. He's so pissed off.
Well, Yankee fans got no place to go but to anger because they got everything they need. They got a team. They've got the stars. They got the money. And they make one false move like this, and the fans turn on them.
Yeah. So you can't make no mistakes. You can if you're a Mets fan. If you're a Mets, you don't have a lot of mercy on the team. And nobody has mercy on the team these days.
No, there's no time for it.
No, because if you're going to spend if you're going to spend that kind of money to go to games or to buy the package on cable to watch them, you want them to go 162-0.
What's the point of losing? It just doesn't make any sense to a New York fan.
What? You lost to the Mariners?
Doesn't sound right.
You lost to the Royals?
Have Yogi at first base.
It was good to see Yogi. It was good to see Billy too.
Now there's a guy that tells how to wear a baggy uniform. Yogi, how you doing?
I think he had the baggiest uniform. I think Yogi had the baggiest uniform since Frank Cressetti. Go look it up, kids. Frank Cressetti used to wear it. Man, I remember when I was a kid and I would watch the games with my grandfather. My grandfather, Paul, was a Yankee fan. And so I was forced to watch there was no Mets.
There was no Mets. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, when I started watching baseball, there was no Mets. There was no Mets. There was no Shea Stadium, no nothing. It was just the Yankees. And he'd come home from work and get his cold one and sit down in the living room and turn the Yankees on. And I'd lay down on the floor next to him, and we'd just be sitting there watching the game. And all the games were on TV. Most of the games, I guess, were on TV. He had one of those old RCA Victor televisions with the doors in front of the screen.
Oh, yeah. You got to have the doors.
There you go.
Otherwise, they got nothing to close when the show's over.
Exactly. I don't know. I always wonder why they didn't sell those TVs with curtains. You could have. There's no business like show business. But anyway,
you have the curtains so the guys from Texas can come out and sing their song.
Yeah. So everybody's pissed off in New York right now.
Good.
Yeah, I mean the Yankee fans are pissed off because the Yankees lost Soto. The Met fans are pissed off because they haven't won the World Series yet. And they've had Soto 4 days already.
When it comes to football, I think we know.
Yeah, football, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, if it's football, the Jets and the Giants don't even look. Don't even bother. And now everybody's pissed off that they caught the Luigi Mangino.
Yeah, they liked it better when he was on the run.
Well, no, I mean, the guy's become a hero.
Because he's got 4 screws in his back. Now, did you see those screws? How can you hurt yourself surfing and end up with 4 screws in your back?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This is I don't know what. I don't know if he got whacked out on painkillers or what the heck is going on. Or if he's just acting, to try to get an insanity plea.
No, I think he's maladjusted.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw when they took him into the courthouse yesterday, but he had that look on his face, man. That look that says, don't come into my cell.
Don't come into my personal space.
Yeah, you stay 2 feet away from me or shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah, Luigi's it's going to be some trial.
Oh, this is going to be the trial of the century.
Yep.
It's already setting up to be, I mean, they don't even have him in custody in New York yet.
And I want to send a shout out to Benjamin Netanyahu, who took the Syrian revolution and turned it into a war. Good job.
Well, yeah, he has a way of doing that.
So you guys don't have a government. You guys don't have an army. I'm coming.
Yeah, I was so busy watching the Pine Tar game. Matter of fact, maybe that's what they ought to do. They ought to send that MLB channel over to Israel and let him sit him down and let him watch some of them games, calm him down. I mean,
It's possible that would do it.
I can understand him putting troops in the DMZ. You know, that 8 mile, I guess it is, space between Syria and Israel. I could understand that, but to have your troops go into, you know, and I guess in a way, I can understand bombing the military facilities, but because who knows who's going to be running the government?
Well, the guy who's the head of the revolutionaries was asking for calm and
yeah. Well, you don't want that. Remember, Michael, calm is the enemy of the people.
Oh yeah, don't get calm on me. Vinnie, you'll never guess what my problem is right now.
I don't know.
I've been holding this phone for 3 minutes. My arm's falling asleep.
All right. Well, listen. Let's cut it short. We got to get this problem figured out. So let's say goodbye, but don't hang up the phone. And then I'll let's see. All right, that's Michael Knight. We're gonna take him off, and I'm gonna say goodbye. We'll see you on Friday if the Lord's willing. The creek don't rise, and StreamYard fixes whatever's wrong here. And if you've been if you usually watch us on Facebook, we will put the show. It did broadcast on YouTube and on X, so I'll take the recording that's on YouTube and post it on Facebook, so you can look at that, and then we'll, if the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise, we'll see you on Friday. Peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby. All right, Michael, you don't go anywhere. You stay right there. I'm going to take the phone away from here. I hope they could hear you. And then I'm going to remove us